Now, one of the most popular, fun, but questionably useful discs on the market right now is the 1-speed slot. We've seen a huge boom in this kind of disc, largely in part to the MVP glitch, the OG, the original in a lot of ways that started this trend. Of course, it's not the first 1-speed ever, but it is really the disc that put the 1-speed on the map. Today we're out at Crockett and we have the glitch, we have the pitch, which you just saw me throw, and we also have the Spore. We're gonna shoot these discs out against each other, see if they actually are useful for your bag, whether or not they should make your bag, and see how these discs hold up. So that's the pitch, the glitch, and the Spore first throws out into the field. Now, for the sake of comparison, we're also gonna compare the only 1-speed that I actually bag, probably my favorite 1-speed of all time, and that is the Kastaplast Berg. This disc is pretty different than those other 3s. It's not really a lid style catch disc. It doesn't have that crazy 7 glide like those bad boys do, but it's the 1-speed I bag, and I think it'll be a good benchmark for these discs, whether or not they should actually make your bag and can improve your game. Now, the shortest of those 4 throws was, of course, the Kastaplast Berg, which is arguably one of the reasons why I love this disc. It has very little glide. It's sort of a hit and sit kind of approach disc, and it takes a lot of the guesswork or the touch out of the approach game. And I know that can sound like a con, but for somebody of my skill level, that's a gift. I appreciate that. So it doesn't go super far. It's not crazy glidey. It's not gonna float forever, but it's gonna get up. It's gonna have some integrity in the flight. It's gonna hit, it's gonna sit. It'll put you close to the pin. And for that reason, I love the Berg, and the Berg makes my bag. Ooh, close little run right there. Now, second shortest of those throws was the Discmania Spore. A little bit of user error, I think. I don't think I hit it quite as clean, but that's in part because of how flexy this Neo plastic is. Now, this is an interesting disc to me because, as you might remember, when Simon left Discmania 4 MVP, he cited the glitch as one of the discs he was most excited to throw. And then Discmania comes out with their own version in the Spore. Interesting timing, really interesting disc, super flexy. Feels pretty good in the hand though. Now, next up in distance is the MVP glitch. At this point, you've seen it, you know it. Super popular disc, super fun disc. This is kind of the tried and true for 1-speed lid style catch disc. Polecat gang, don't come after me here. It's the glitch, it just is. Great disc, great flight, a little understable for me. I don't have a super spinny throw, so, you know, I'm not killer with this disc, which maybe means I gotta work on my touch. I don't know, man. Whoa! That's what wind will do. And by far, the farthest flying of all of these is the brand new Total Eclipse pitch. I was pretty shocked at how far this thing just flew. We're pin high. It went a good 30, 40 feet farther than that glitch, which was second. Now, I don't know if I just got a great ride on the wind or if this disc just is a bomber. I'm not sure what that's about, but we're gonna keep throwing it. We'll find out. First throw impression though of this pitch, this thing is sick. Now, before we throw the 306-foot hole 2, let's talk quickly about weight and hand feel. The Berg, this is max weight, pretty known disc, has this interesting ridge here. You love it, you hate it, that's the Berg. Now we get into the lighter weight boys. The glitch is on the lighter side, 148 gram in the Neutron soft plastic. The hand feel pretty round in the hand, pretty good overall with the bead. The pitch, a little bit heavier, 157 gram pitch. The bead feels a little less noticeable to my hand, maybe still a micro bead on there like all overmold discs do. Feels maybe a touch bigger in the hand to me than does the glitch. I actually really like the hand feel of the pitch. Overall though, very similar. And then the Spore, 158 grams, like I was saying, that Neo flexy plastic. This has the most pronounced beaded feel to me on the bottom. Otherwise though, very rounded. All of these are catch discs. They all have pretty similar shapes They feel good in the hand. It's just a matter of how much you like that floppy plastic when it comes to the Spore. For me, I'm struggling with that a little bit. I would say the pitch feels really good in that total eclipse, and the glitch, you know, neutron soft is really nice. There is some wind out here. It's now a right to left as opposed to a left to right that we had on hole 1. So the opposite wind to hole 1. We'll see how these stand up. Glitch is up first. Like I said, 306 feet. Yeah, you see it get to a little bit of turn, just so glidey, gets kind of back to flattish at the end. It's just right up there on the right side. Now let's go with the pitch, our bomber from hole 1. I'm gonna be so curious to see if this outdrives these discs again. Okay, definitely got more hyzer on that one, and it's holding more hyzer, but I can already tell it's going a little bit farther. So not probably as good of a flight, but more stability and integrity than that glitch. Let's try the Spore, the floppy boy now. Yeah, I love that. It just gets to flat and glides. I think that's a little farther than the glitch. We'll have to see when we get up there. It didn't get the turn that the glitch got, so once again, a little more stability than the glitch, but I would say less stable than the pitch. And last but not least, our control, the Berg. We're just gonna hit this flat. We'll see what this does. When I say flat, of course, as you know from watching this channel, I mean a little bit of hyzer. And it stays on hyzer, ends up in the woods. The glitch and the Spore almost right on top of each other, right here. And then we have the pitch actually just straight down the hill, but pretty much in line. So frame of reference, if you're wanting to know how far these discs, how they might fly for you, I'm throwing these somewhere in the ballpark of 275 to 290. That's where my arm speed is at right now. So if you're in a similar ballpark of arm speed, that should give you a frame of reference. They might fly similar, or if you're throwing faster or slower than me, you can make that adjustment to fit your arm speed. Pretty decent headwind here on hole 3, so this will be another good test of stability and integrity for these discs. This hole plays just about 280, so with the headwind, I hope we can get it there, but that'll give you once again a good reference for just how far I'm actually throwing these discs and how they'll fly for you and your arm speed. Similar, let's go with the glitch up first. We're gonna try and hit it on a lot of hyzer, see how it flies. Yeah, good hyzer release. Once again, up to flat with just a touch of turn, and then it just lands so soft. And I think we're just past pin high. So once again, in that 280 to 290 range. Let's put the pitch up there, see how this bad boy flies. Not as much hyzer out of the hand, definitely gets to turn. I think it probably did go a little farther, but that was really interesting. Slightly different release, but it showed a touch more willingness to get over. Now let's try the Spore. Yeah, hyzer to flat. I'm pretty consistently finding the Spore is probably the less glidey of the 3, which isn't saying a ton because they're all 7 glide, ridiculous glide. They just want to float all the way, but I think it, to my eye, looks like the Spore is dying just a quick sooner. Of course, our reference, let's hit the Berg out there. I mean, I think I love that shot if it gets there. Oh, it's short. Oh, I should have known. The Berg is always short. So what we saw with our eyes off the T-pad appears to be true. T-pad coming this way, Spore right here, the shortest of the 3. Then we have our glitch right here, which we saw showed a little more integrity maybe, although I just released it on a lot of hyzer. And then our pitch about the same distance, just a little bit further out from the pin. Now what I will say about this Spore is I think I am just not great with soft flexi plastics. So I'm feeling a lot of wiggle in my reach back and my pull through, giving me a little bit of that flippy flop dead bird coming out. So that's definitely user error on me. Just take that with a grain of salt. We're gonna skip hole 4 and get here to hole 5, 210 feet dead straight ahead, because this is exactly the kind of hole where I'm reaching for a 1 speed in my bag. So I wanna see how these discs compare on a real hole where we're actually pulling them out in a tournament round to try and park this basket. Glitch up first, we're just going right down the middle, right at the basket there. I mean, that is just such a nice flight. pushes through, absolutely parked. It was starting to drift a little more right than I'm super comfortable with. So let's throw the pitch, try and hit it on a similar angle, see if we have a little more stability here, like I assume that we do. Yeah, very similar result, but to my eye, it was just holding a touch more straight. Now let's go with our Spore, see if we can't replicate that, go 3 for 3. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, 3 almost identical shots right there with 3 almost identical results. We'll throw the Berg just for a reference. Now, when I'm really playing this hole, I'm actually going high spike over, or I'm putting a zone on a forehand around. But for the sake of this video in comparison, we'll go straight at it with our Berg as well. Yeah, I mean, a little more hyzer out of the hand, maybe to touch more, but you just see such a drastic difference in glide right there. The 1 glide of the Berg versus the 7 of the other 3. With all 3 of those discs though, they're all in the circle, they're all great results, which just goes to show that in this category, hand feel and confidence in the disc really probably is king. I don't know that you're gonna see a ton of flight characteristics differences just in these discs. Just for fun, I happen to have a Berg X with me. Let's do one big bomb up over the top, see if we can't get close. Oh, it's gotta go. It's in the trees. Oh, it snuck through. I hope you could see that in that little gap. Snuck through, absolutely parked it. So it's a pretty tight spread up here by the basket. You have the Berg and the pitch right up here, which just caught a little extra tree, stayed, you know, I mean, 15, 20 feet, still in circle 1. The glitch right here, pretty parked. That's the Berg X, which was different shot shape, and then the Spore right here. And I think the difference in these placements really just comes down to how much foliage they caught on the way through. So ultimately, I don't know how much more I can show you guys that's going to highlight the differences in these discs. I would say there's more similarity than there is difference just in terms of flight characteristics. There is a difference in hand feel, but you know, as much as I can try and describe that, if you're interested in one of these, I would say you just got to find a local shop and just feel them. To my hands, of the 3, the new Axiom pitch feels the best. I mean, this thing feels really good, fits my hand well, gives me a lot of confidence in the grip. I like the stiffness of the plastic, but really you can get great results with any of these. I think this category of disc, this 1-speed lid style, is such a fun disc, and if I was coming out for a 1-disc round, just have fun, the pitch is what I would probably grab. Now, in terms of actually having a spot in my bag, it's a little harder to say. The Berg does something unique for me, which is when I'm throwing into a danger screen, it's gonna drop, hit, and sit. So it serves a purpose. Now with these other 3 though, lid style discs, I don't know what they do for me that say something like my Electron Envy, my straight to flippy Envy doesn't do. These are a little glidey, certainly, a little spinnier. Maybe these would be great for like little soft bids at the basket, but then maybe I'm just throwing my PA3s, my putter. So that's where it's hard for me. Of these 3, my favorite would be the pitch. That was what would make my bag, and it might. You'll have to subscribe if you want to see if this does actually make the bag. I'll try and keep you guys updated, but there you go. The glitch, the pitch, and the Spore, of course the Bergs as well. Really incredible disc, really fun from Discmania, Axiom, MVT, and of course Kastaplast. Huge shout out to Disc Golf Deals USA for sending these out for me to try out. Really appreciate you guys hanging out, watching the channel, like and subscribe if you want. It does help me out, and I'm grateful for it. My name's Andrew Wood. Remember, the journey is the destination. I'll catch you in the next one. Eclipse pitch. Peace.